I will preface that there's no definitive yes or no, but it is pretty easy to understand what's really being said. I'll backtrack. New Huskies athletic director Troy Dannen was introduced during a press conference yesterday. Bump. Asked about the future of UW-Wazoo's rivalry game, Dannen said that playing 7 home games is going to be an essential part of the business model for UW's finances, meaning there will be no road games against a non-conference Wazoo team. Take a listen to his answer here.
My bias is I don't want to lose the history and the traditions. I also know that I have this economic model, particularly as we move to the Big Ten, where we're playing with people that frankly have an economic model that is I don't want to say far superior, but far greater than ours. We have to be really careful. And 7 home games is a piece of the economic model going forward that UW has to have. Now, does that mean it has to? I don't know, but long term, we have to have 7 home games and the revenue generated by 7 home football games in order to be in a financial position to compete in the league that we're moving into.
So the answer is no. The answer is no. The Apple Cup tradition of game here, game there, road home for both schools will not continue.
You know what? When I was 21 years old, I went to Vegas for the first time. I went there with like $300. Didn't have enough money. I got there. I'm like, all right, 300. I should be good for the weekend,
That's
right?
2 beers.
My guys are like, nah, dog. What are you doing? Right?
You're done.
They were good. They're like, hey, come with us. We're good. We got money. I don't know what you got, but come with us. It's better over here, man. You're going to love Vegas, all right? UW is in Vegas without enough money, all right? Now they're trying to manipulate, we need 7 home games.
We're trying to sit in the casino.
You're trying to sit and play
drinks.
penny machines right now and get these free drinks. I'm like, dude, y'all put yourself in this situation. You put yourself in this situation. You decided to go. You decided to not get paid as much as everybody else because we had to do it. There was no way financially we were going to make it through that. Yes, there was. You just jumped ship. So now that you guys jumped ship, now this ain't even his fault, right? He kind of inherited this situation.
Yes.
But now that you guys jumped ship, you're not going to have enough money to kind of support it. You're going to kill a 100-plus year tradition. Mm-hmm. And on the other side, I talk to my UW guys that I know, and they don't take the Apple Cup as seriously as us underdogs take it because they've won like 65 to 70% of those games. They look at the Oregon game as more of a rivalry because they've been better over the past few years. I understand that, but it's not about. It's about the guys who played the game, but it's really about the families who have supported this game after generation after generation after generation. So it's unfortunate, and it makes sense. You got to have a home game to create that revenue and all that. It makes complete sense, but all that we had to do it. We weren't going to make it out this situation. You went to Vegas with $200, $300 right now, and now you're asking for the homies to hook you up.
Yeah, and as a result, there's a new geographic rival for Washington. That rival will just be Oregon. So that will be the rivalry game of 2 schools in the Pacific Northwest. Yeah, I love beating Oregon, and I hate Oregon more than I dislike Washington. I don't hate Washington State. I hate, when the Dogs play Oregon is like one of the 3 times that I'm like a super UW fan. Washington, and for that matter, Oregon, and they're obviously their rivalry with Oregon State. Mm-hmm. The real answer is that there is more that matters to them than this rivalry game.
Yeah, for sure.
They could have chosen to stay in the pack. They could have chosen to take a hard route. They could have chosen to keep these rivalry games. And the answer isn't, now we got our hands tied with home games. The answer is we chose to throw that out when we went to the Big Ten.
Yep. And there's a small portion of people making decisions that are speaking for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. So when we say you guys made that decision, we're talking UW, we're talking Oregon, all those guys. No, there's a room in a ballroom in Vegas where they all met up, where there's about 50 people in that room that are making decisions that affect 100 years of tradition and the conference in itself. So again, I always try to see things from both sides. All right, you make that move, you got to make sure. Because you made that move, you got to make sure that financially you guys are good. Yeah, it makes sense. Danning, he just inherited the situation. He's sitting there like, man, I'm still crunching numbers and looking at things. It's my job to make sure that I don't look like George Kliavkoff when this thing is over and put ourselves in a worse situation. I understand all of that. My beef ain't with him. My beef is with those upper management, whatever you want to call them, admin, ADs, all those guys,
Decision-makers.
decision makers who made these decisions and now put all these other universities in the situation. But good riddance, man. If the Apple Cup don't happen, it's going to hurt, but we don't want to force it. I never want to be knocking on someone's door like, please play us. Please, nah, you want to go ahead and leave. And I guarantee you this, Stacey, it's going to be so hard for you, Dub. It's going to be so hard. That travel on the body, the athletes, the competition, it's going to be tough. And you're getting a small piece of the pie. So the pettiness in me is saying, go over there and get your, you know what, whoops. Go ahead and do that. Go ahead and make all that travel and do all that. I hope they play well this year because I like Michael Penix. I like Roma Duze. I like the athletes that are on this team right now. I like Coach DeBoer.
Yeah.
I set that stuff aside and I can appreciate good football. But once y'all are gone, go ahead and deal with all this stuff that you asked for.
The deep irony with all of it, of course, is that Washington is getting more lucrative contracts and going to the Big Ten, a conference that makes more money and will divvy up more money, even in a reduced contract with that conference. The deep irony that I just said is that right now the Pac-12 might be the best conference.